Hello, guys, and welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I'm back. Welcome to season 3 of my digital content creation series under the wing of Charity Heaven Digital. And this season, I titled it The Strategy Behind the Content. And today, we're going to look at storytelling strategy, just how to make your content memorable because you have to have a reason why you're posting. My name is Charity Wanyonyi. I'm a digital content strategist. So let's get into today's episode. So, why does storytelling matters? For me, from the years of creating content, I've come to realize people don't remember posts, they remember stories. Apart from the content I consume, most of the time I remember more of the stories rather than what people post. So, storytelling creates an emotional connection between you and your audience, and also stories build trust faster than information. That's why when you go to TikTok or you go to YouTube, most people are incorporating story time, and you find that story time are getting a lot of traction because people want to know, people want to listen, people want to engage, people want to relate with what you are saying. Facts informed, but stories, they connect you to your audience. So, what is storytelling? I know I always have to define what I'm talking about so that you can be able to understand from the context of what I'm talking about. And storytelling is not you oversharing, because I always listen to some stories that someone is oversharing. So, it is using experience, insights, and perspectives to make your message relatable. So, if you're going to talk about nutrition, you make nutrition relatable by telling a story. That's why most of my posts, when it comes to my career curveballs, when it comes to my throwback Thursday, I've noticed I get a lot of engagement because I'm talking about my experience, my journey, and my career in nutrition and as a nutritionist. So a good storytelling, it gives context, creates meaning, and also helps people see themselves in your own context. So people relate with what you're saying. That's why they keep following you and build trust in you and what you're saying. So we're going to look at the role of storytelling in strategy. So storytelling helps you humanize your expertise. Like I said, making nutrition relatable, differentiate your brand. My brand as Charity Safe Haven, or the Diabetic Desk, or the digital content creation series under the wing of Charity Haven Digital is very different from the Nutritionist Corner. We do different things, and that's because we do different information, different stories, build credibility without selling, create consistency in your message. Because if I'm listening to your story and I see a consistency in it, I'll become a believer in what you're saying. So strategy tells people what storytelling shows them why it matters. So with strategy, it tells people, like, I'm being strategic, but also storytelling shows them why it matters to you. Why does nutrition matter to me? And why am I investing my time uh, educating people or creating such a series? So I feel like storytelling really helps. So there are three types of stories you should tell. Yeah. The personal journey stories, that is what I post mostly on my LinkedIn. Professional learning story, that's what I post in my articles or the newsletter. And then client community impact stories, I try to do this in my other social media platforms. So each type builds trust in different ways. Personal journey will relate with someone who is on a personal level or someone personal level. Professional learning stories, you're encouraging your fellow professional, the upcoming mentorship. Client community, you're reaching a wider target audience. Yes. So we're going to look at storytelling framework, and I'm going to give an example. So the framework involves context. This is what was happening, the challenge, what went wrong or felt unclear, shift, what changed, lesson, what the audience can take away from your story. So for example, this is just for me. I knew nutrition but I struggle to show up online, which is actually true. Once I learned digital strategy, everything changed. That's why I now help nutrition professionals grow with clarity. So in this story, the context is what was happening. I'm aware what nutrition is, the technical, the soft skills, the challenge. I struggle to show up online. I wasn't really confident. The shift, what changed was I learned digital content strategy, and that is what we're doing this season. Everything changed. And then the lesson, that's why I help nutrition professional grow with clarity. That's why every Saturday 10 a.m. you tune into my page to get such a video so that you can be able to kickstart your digital content creation journey. So common storytelling mistakes most of us make. I also used to make, and sometimes I do make, is making the story about you. Know, we always want to listen to ourselves, talk about me, 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 me. So there's no clear lesson. If you can look back at the story I said, there's a clear lesson. I struggled to show up online, but once I learned about digital strategy, I started now showing up online intentionally. Too long, no direction, no rambling. Like you end up digressing and not like telling people what you're saying. So you're telling a long story until someone is lost, they don't even know what you're saying, and then fear of being seen. So good storytelling always serves the audience because you're telling us your story. If I'm reading your post, I follow through because of the framework. I find what was happening at that time, what was the problem or what was the success story, what changed, and then what lesson am I taking from that particular story. So how to use stories across content. Stories can be used in carousel. I also do this. Reels, videos. I love talking. So for me, reels and videos really make me happy and I love doing them. Captions, you can write them, or you can now in your videos you can create the caption and take it and make it a post. Yes. Live webinars, that is what we're doing at the corner, and also about pages in most websites or your professional pages. So you don't need new stories, just new angles. Look at all these formats and then see which works for you. If you're a good storyteller, you can talk on camera. Reels, videos would be your friend. If you don't want to be on video, carousels can still do the same. Webinars and all that, you can still share your stories. So the key takeaway from this episode is people trust brands that feel human. I also trust brands that feel human. If I can connect with you at the human level, I will be a believer of you. I will subscribe, I will follow, I will like, I will share your content. Storytelling is how strategy becomes a connection. So I hope this episode will be able to help you when you think about storytelling, because I feel like that is also an untapped niche, and people who are aware of that have really capitalized on it and they are doing very well. Go to TikTok and look at the story time. Storytelling, someone is telling a story doing makeup, someone is telling a story cooking, someone is telling a story making hair, or just picking rice, or outside in nature, someone is just telling a story, and they have a community of people are responding and interacting with their content. So the next episode we're going to look at engagement strategy, and this is something to look out for because most of us really don't understand how engagement works. So tune in and let's see how to build community and just not likes. So work with me at Charity Event Digital. This is my number, this is my email address.